welcome to the CRE8HER Show. Now let's get into it. Hey, everybody, and welcome to the CRE8HER Show. As you see, I have another guest this lovely Saturday night. But before we get into it, hey, everybody, and welcome to the CRE8HER Show. Giving you honest conversation served with humor and energy. So today's guest is an author, a wellness consultant, and one thing I love, she is a curator of community-centered conversations and experience. I want y'all to give it up for Sunni Jones, Miss Sunni Jones.
Hi.
So, as I asked my guests, I've been forgetting to do it, but I asked you earlier. On a scale from 1 to 10, how's your mental?
That is a good question. In this particular moment, I'm gonna say about a 6. There's balance.
Okay, I can. Okay.
Yeah. There's balance. Because you said we was being honest and transparent.
Yes, that's what I'm learning to do in 26.
I'm gonna say about 6 because the good is tipping the scale. So I'm gonna say about a 6. I'm not gonna complain. So God, don't be like, I give you something to complain about.
Oh, as much as it's taken away, as much as given, it can be taken away.
In a black household, you knew the saying. Oh, I'll give you something to cry about. So I'm not gonna give him. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna do that.
Okay, so this is a traditional game that everyone loves to play. It is this and that. So it's either this or that, and I'm learning everybody want to be in between, but we gon' this or that. So
okay, I'm ready.
So it's nothing too juicy. Maybe I'm gonna have to do a page. Maybe I'm gonna have to get a Patreon so then it can be more juicy when I get a Patreon. Make people pay for the make people pay for the good stuff. Okay, so okay, so podcast or playlist?
Ooh. Playlist.
Yeah, I definitely playlist all day long. Podcast.
Because I'm in the who's following every time the playlist come on. I'm in there singing like I'm in the studio laying my last best track. This album got a lot riding on it. Playlist.
Okay, swimming pool or the beach?
Beach.
Yeah, I'm definitely a beach.
Because you'll be in it or just sitting on it and it just does something to my mind, to my spirit. So, beach.
Okay, yeah. Summer or winter?
Winter. Because you can always get real cute with them boots, them thigh-high boots, a little leather, a little fur. At summertime, the leave out is left out. The moisturizer is rolling down your body, and you need to go home and take another shower quick.
Okay, so cash or card? You look unsure of either. You look like you unsure of either one.
Is it my cash? Somebody else's cash.
Come on now, Sunny. It's always that one guess
cash that do what I want to do. I don't have to account for the cash.
Baby, I gotta do card. Cause I remember I lost $20. And ever since then I've been traumatized.
See, I don't keep cash on me. That cash going to one of 3 places. I don't keep cash on me. I'm going to stick that shoebox, that under the mattress, that all that old school, them spots. I'm going to stick that cash right there. I don't really more than $50 on me in this day and time it serves me no purpose. I'm not
I used to put it in my sock. And I don't know why I used to change it. So we gonna get into, I don't know if you a junk food girl, but I love me some snacks. And the people that know me some snacks. So are you cookies or chips?
Kettle cooked chips because I'm not a junk girl.
That's understandable.
Okay.
It's understandable because sometimes I'm not. Because sometimes I'm not. It depends on what, like my cycle. Junk. Oh, I just eat Oreos.
Yeah, put me right there.
Which ones?
The jalapeno kettle cook, the HEB brand.
Okay.
Okay.
I do I'm kettle corn. I do the kettle corn popcorn. If I'm not eating junk
Okay.
food, I do
Okay.
the what is that? The evil. It got the little Buddha guy on the front of it. And then I do skinny pop. I do skinny pop too.
Okay.
When
I
I
do the
just
book
don't.
pop, the purple bag.
Oh yes, the purple. Yes. Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
The purple
I
bag.
see exactly it.
Okay, let's get into it. Hey, Miss Nedra, how you doing? Okay, so let me get it. Okay, got my notes right here. I had to transition because I'm usually
That's
in the corner by my closet, so now I gotta get me a picture up here
okay.
because it looks real naked
I
right
mean, the
now.
balloons are really still standing there, so we celebrating. So it don't
All day, every day. But yeah, like I
matter.
said, this birthday definitely hit. 36 has really hit. It really has hit different.
Yeah.
I actually had a good. I had a good time. That's probably why I've been behind on projects and stuff.
That's why
Cause
my phone's still there. Cause sometimes you gotta let it reminisce a little bit, just let the aroma kind of just still stay in the space so you could be reminded. Like,
yeah, I got to. Cause I usually, like I told my aunt, I've never like really celebrated
I'm
birthdays.
happy you celebrated. I
I
think
did.
we
We did. We went to this Mexican restaurant. I had me some good old never go wrong shrimp tacos.
okay. Well, taco is really healing for
Nice
this.
little
It's not
margarita.
bad.
And I'm not
That's
an alcoholic. I mean, not an alcoholic. I'm not an alcohol. I don't. I've slowed down on alcohol, so I'm not a
different.
drinker per se. But
Okay.
it's my birthday. Why not?
And you got a chance to enjoy a little one too.
It was
Ain't
really
nothing
good.
wrong with it. Ain't
I hadn't
nothing
even
wrong.
posted the pictures yet. I didn't even.
It don't matter
All right, let's
because
get into it. I'm learning to keep stuff to myself because I'll be wanting to share, and
yeah,
I've noticed a lot of people are haters, so I just keep stuff to myself. So I've learned. I'm a sharer. I've been as I've gotten older. I've learned to stop oversharing because
right.
that's when you find out who your friends really are, and you find out there's a snake in the mist.
Them
So
30s ain't fit for nothing.
them 30s will show you who you are. I moved all the way from, I moved to Charleston.
Mhm.
And out of the group of friends that I've had, ask me how many was like happy that I moved.
However many it was, it don't even matter. They ain't stopping nothing.
No, they ain't so sure, but I'm grateful for the ones that stayed and was like, when you coming home? I said, when
When I'm late too,
yeah, cause
when
I'm,
it's for me there. Right now, I'm
mhm.
being called elsewhere.
Cause when
Period.
you leave your hometown, I'm telling you, I really don't be wanting. Even though I have family and my nieces back home, that be
Mhm.
like the only reason I really, you know. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Anyway.
anywho,
Mhm.
so I want to say I did not get the book yet, but I'm going to get it because I've been reading. I've been getting back into my reading bag.
Okay.
So charge it to my head, not my heart.
I ain't gonna charge it at all. When you feel led, the copies are there. The copies are
Cause I
there.
sure was like, I gotta read the book because I'm trying to get into that professional bag. When somebody say they got a book, I at least wanna brush up on it and
Yeah,
read it.
the
And I was
copies are
like, but
actually stock the website with copies. So when you're ready, they are there.
cause baby, when I say I've been reading, and I be like, I want this book, but I'm like, you gotta slow down. You putting too
Just
much dip
start with
on your
one.
chip.
Just start with one. You can only eat one chip at a time without choking anyway. So just start with
Cause
one
I be
chip.
reading I'm reading too many books as is right now. And with
Okay.
this ADHD, my brain is just like, I get overload.
Well, we ain't gonna give the ADHD no power. We gonna recognize
I
the
be
learning
trying.
capacity, and we gonna work around the capacity that we have until it extends itself. But
I'm trying.
one step at a time.
I'm working on it. I
Yeah,
wanna do everything. I be like, I got to remember I'm not Superwoman.
even Superwoman can't do everything. So
Yeah.
we ain't gonna even give her that much power. Gonna do what we can, when we can, how we can, and that's how we gonna move. Mhm.
Okay, so just to give you how I found you. So I don't know, for some reason, you it was a video with you and Mika. YouTube video. It popped up
Oh Lord,
and it
what
was
was
in and it was two parts.
okay, okay.
And
When you
it
say
popped
two parts,
up.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Go ahead.
It was two parts. And I literally watched. I had to split it cuz it was good. And I had to, of course I didn't want to overload, but I
Yeah.
watched both parts. And that really, like, we have some similarities in story, and it amazes me when you actually have a conversation with somebody how black women we have when we get out of that cattiness of
Mm.
how we realize like our stories are so much similar.
Yeah. So much more alike than we are different.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
just be like, why we so catty? And then when they be like some people be thinking I be mean, and I be like, no, I'm not mean. I don't know. I'm just getting to know you. But
Yeah.
anywho, so that what made me really like reach out because I was like, we got similar stories, and second, it's just it was very interesting,
Okay.
and it amazes me how, like I said, when I watched it, I was like, it amazes you how to see from watching that to see where you are now.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It
Thank
is
you.
very, it is very, there go my countryness coming out again.
All
It
right.
was, it was very beautiful to just even see how anybody just come from what they have endured to be. Because sometimes you don't look like what people who've been through stuff don't never look like what they've been through.
Because it's God.
So tell me, like we'll get into that later, but how your upbringing? Let's start from, and then we'll just go ahead and dwindle down from.
Okay. My upbringing. Um, my upbringing was complex. I grew up in the hood, in the ghetto, as most people would call it. My dad was kind of in and out the streets,
Mhm.
struggling with drugs and alcohol. My mom was always around, but as I've gotten older, I've learned that she was also struggling with her own personal things that she was juggling, from becoming an adult to having two kids to
Mhm.
whatever the case may be. A result of that, I feel like I did end up paying the cost for a lot of the luxuries that my parents were able to live. And by luxuries, I mean not having to carry the weight of their own
Mhm.
sins, or of their own downfalls. I grew up around drugs, violence, everything that was made out to be common, or made to be normalized, that is not normal for a child. So I saw a lot at a really early age, more
Mhm.
than any child, any teenager should ever see. Um, and for a long time, I wasn't sure if I regretted it or not. At this
Mhm.
point, I don't, because it shaped me to be the woman that I am. But if I could go back and change things, or if I was a parent myself, there's a lot of things that as a child I definitely would not have allowed or wanted my children to see or witness and experience, from drugs to violence to, sexual assault to everything that you could think of,
Mhm.
really. Yeah.
Yeah, it amazes me, like I said, to go back to what I said, because I didn't say I wouldn't per se that my neighborhood wasn't the best neighborhood, so I'm not even gonna dress it up. Let's just keep it a buck. I grew up in the hood, but I think it was definitely that the structure that I had.
Hmm.
It was the foundation. Cause I was in between like my godparents, my grandparents, my aunt for a moment, and
Okay.
then my mom. But it was just having having that village or whatever. Cause I definitely grew up in the hood, and I get that. When I tell my story, it's like you didn't look like you grew. Was I supposed to? Like, are we supposed to look like we grew up in the hood?
Right. Right.
Or that you're too proper. I could say I was in between that, in the middle, being the awkward black girl,
Hmm.
being you talk white, but then by the black people, and then you kind of ghetto, and I'm just like, that's when I was like, I became the lone wolf.
I feel like I was never really in between. Having my grandparents be so close knit and have so much of a hand in my upbringing and how I was raised definitely gave me a different perspective on things.
Mhm.
I don't think I was in between, but I think for me, looking back, it was always evident that either I would outgrow where I was or that I did not belong there long term. And that's because I was always thinking ahead, always,
Mhm.
curious of what more is out there. I, had a way with people, even as a child, enduring some of the things that I went through, as I've spoken on publicly before, between drugs and sexual assault and all these different things. I still always had a nurturing spirit that people took to, that made people want to love on me and want to be
Mhm.
around. I feel like that part was my it was my downfall as well as it was my gift, because sometimes innocence for a predator is kind of like, prey. And sometimes that innocence, that light, that, that glow or whatever it is for somebody that have great intentions, allows them to see you clearly. So for me, I think it was always evident that, there's something about this child that probably is just in the wrong dynamic or wrong,
Mhm.
environment. And I hope she surpasses these things. Um, but yeah, I feel like having my grandparents around gave me a completely different perspective. I never stopped wondering what was outside of my environment. So I feel like as a child, even though I had no clue what was outside of my environment, or even if I would live to see what was outside of, the
Mhm.
curiosity helped me so much more than what I realized back then. And looking back at it now, had I not had that curiosity, that courage, that resilience, I probably would still be stuck there, or I may not even be alive to even be telling this story right now.
Yeah, I definitely get that, because I was definitely allowed to. I would say yes and no. I was curious because in the black household, you were never allowed to ask why, even though you were curious,
Yeah.
and it wasn't like you were back talking. But I got in trouble for that. But I was literally just
You wanted to
curious,
understand.
cause like me being an Aquarius, I'm in my head, and it has to make, even as a kid, it has to make logical sense for me to follow. It made me question, because I'm like, you're not doing it. So I'm asking you, like, hey, this is not making logical sense. It seems like as a kid, it was like the blind leading the blind, even though it was an adult, even though it was an adult. But, you have to respect the adults. I'm like, you're respecting adults, but they still not
Right.
as an adult.
But over time, being an adult doesn't mean that you have the right answers, or it doesn't mean that your way was the best way, you know? And unfortunately, I feel like the do as I say, not as I do
Oh,
mindset or approach has affected a lot of people in ways that they probably don't realize until 15, 20 years later. I would never want to relive my past, but I don't regret it in any way because in this day and time, I think if I had not had the opportunity to build the character that I've been able to build through my
mhm.
triumph, my challenges, through everything I've been through, I think I probably would be worse off. And I'm talking about from a mental, from an
Oh,
emotional,
I
from
definitely agree.
a point.
I mhm.
Seeing some of the children and some of the young adults in this day and time and how so much affects them in the way that they do. If what I went through didn't build my character, didn't build my strength, didn't build my capacity to be able to understand, to be able to just keep on keeping on, oh, I would be done with. I would be done with.
And it's crazy that you say that because I say the same thing because I was, like, dealing with what? Because 'cause I'm a like, my I have little cousins that are, like, in
Mhm.
elementary, but then I have nieces, they're babies, and I
Yeah.
always think about them. Cause I'm like, when my nieces get older, who knows what this word is gonna be when they get teenagers, you know? And I'm like I said, I'm that auntie. Like, I don't care how old, I don't play about my kids. I don't play about them. But like you said, this day and age, like, we went outside. We stayed outside.
We didn't have a choice.
And we had the water, we was drinking out the water hose. We
We
had
was on
no
the free box making beats and freestyles and getting creative with our imagination because that's what we had. And for me, a lot of the times it comes back to that. I have a 14 and a 20-year-old niece that looks at everything that I do. They look at
mhm,
every decision that I make. They look at how I show up on the internet. They look at how I show up and respond and react, when I am faced with real life challenges in my day to day that maybe the world doesn't get to see. They look to that. So for me, it's not just about, everything that I do and how it affects them, but that does play a really big role because when we were coming up, we looked to the adults as to what they were doing, how they
definitely.
were doing it, and we took notes. That was our, at that time, that was our only pretty much guidance. That was our representation. That was where we learned from. That was our data analysis, right?
Mhm,
So me knowing that my nieces now look to me for that is it's above me. Is so much deeper than what I want, what I feel, and while I take those things into consideration, it's so important to me. And I shared this at a book signing a couple
mhm,
weeks ago that the responsibility that God has given me in terms of using my story, not for my own gains, but to be able to show who He is, what He's capable of, what He can do, and what He's willing to do, far outweighs any desires, that I have or don't have, especially when I know that there's people that's looking to see, oh, how would she have handled this? How would she respond to something like this? Oh, my nieces call me Tia. How would Tia, respond to something like this? And the fact that they are taking those things into consideration. I'm not saying I have all the answers, but when I am making decisions, I don't just make them from a place that's, centered around myself these days. I'm making a decision based off if my nieces saw this today, could they take this and
mhm.
learn from in a way that would help properly position them for whatever journey or life that God has set out for their life? Not just for my own personal gain, because Auntie Whitney Houston said it the best. These are the children of the future, honey. And our greatest gift would be that we get the opportunity to grow old. And
Mhm,
in doing so, we want to be able to do that with confidence, that we have children, that we have youth that's been instilled with wisdom and love and care and consideration and joy and, so much more beyond themselves or beyond what money could buy. And if we're not instilling that in them, then where the hell do we expect them to get that from?
Yeah.
That don't mean
I
we gonna do everything right or we gonna have all the answers,
Mhm.
but it starts at home. It's not just on these teachers. It's not just on anybody else. It starts at home, or at least we have the greatest contribution.
I definitely agree because as a former teacher assistant, it definitely starts at home, and I know a couple of times I definitely got blamed for why their child was misbehaving, and I'm like, "Skirt, skirt, hold on, wait a minute." Like,
Yeah.
hey, people don't understand, like, teachers be catching hell.
My grandma is a retired teacher, and I
Mhm.
remember in my 20s, like, leaving work, "Oh, I'm on my way up there." 'Cause I don't care that you teach 1st grade, I'm on my way up, and I'm in a classroom. Who you talking to? You gonna hit who? And having to understand that kids are brought to this earth with little bit of knowing. They may have a lot of
Mhm.
wisdom, but little bit of knowing. They know everything that they've been taught. And if they know everything they've been taught and you look at what they know, that means that they are a clear reflection of how you show up. And I'm not saying that, if they go astray that they don't make their own decisions, but if it hits home first, we teach them this, we instill them in this, we show up as this, and that's where they learn from. We have a responsibility to show up in a certain manner. If we know better, then it's our duty to do better.
I definitely agree. I do agree. Oh, excuse me. And I just like to go back to what you said, it's like it's so much bigger when you are in a position of being on the internet. And even before I decided to do this, even before my nieces came along, I was working with kids.
Yeah.
And I know they definitely on the internet, they're on the internet and people would be at my job and they would be like, that's not your duty. I said at the same time, it is my duty.
It takes a village.
Mhm. I definitely agree.
Imagine with all of what I've gone through and the most impactful teacher that I've ever had in my life. And I have followed up with her every couple years to remind her that it was because of you or to thank her. It was my pre-K teacher.
Mhm.
It wasn't just my pre-K teacher. I made sure she was both of my niece's pre-K teachers, and
Aw.
they are 14 and 20.
Mhm.
She instilled something in me that made me believe that no matter what I had been through, no matter what I was going through, no matter what I would come up against, I mattered. That I had a gift inside of me that the world, deserved to see and to experience. So imagine if she wouldn't have shown up in her full purpose.
Mhm.
Imagine if we slight our purpose or our gift because of what we've had to endure. And that's not to slight anybody's challenges or triumphs because sometimes the days are very trying, honey, to where you like,
Yes. Life be
"Uh,
lifing.
listen, y'all, hey, c- count me out." Some days is like that. So it's not to
Mhm.
take from anybody's, hard times, trials, and tribulations. Trust me, I'm on this interview, but I'm navigating some tough things right now to where it'll have you like, all right, look, everybody be cool. Okay. But she instilled something in me
Mhm.
that stuck with me throughout all these years. And teachers like her, teachers like my grandma, people that did it because it was their purpose, not just because it was a paycheck, not just because of
Mhm.
whatever the reasons are. I don't want to get into the technicalities of that because I know there's a lot going on in education
Mhm.
right now. But that teacher made it her business. No matter what she may have been going through personally, she showed up in a way in that classroom every day to where I believed I was important. I believe that I served a purpose. I didn't even know what I was about to get ready to walk into or what I was about to get ready to face or what challenges I was about to have to walk through, what fire I was about to come out of untouched. She made me believe that as a 5-year-old girl, you're going to be all right. You're going to be all right.
Mhm. You had a teacher like that too. I had a teacher. Her name was at the
Hey,
time,
well,
she was Miss Williams. Her maiden name was Miss Williams, but she always gonna be Miss Smith to me.
yeah.
And when I say she had a voice, she sung almost every day. She sung every lesson was it had a song to it.
My teacher was this short. You hear me? This little. But
Mhm.
the impact that she had on the kids in her room, the love that she
Mhm.
started up with, and I don't wanna just make it about teachers, but I wanna make it just about people like myself that have been constantly tested, constantly tried, constantly pushed and pulled, constantly, like, drained and then refilled and, constantly on that battle of, you know, "God, where am I going? What am I doing?
Mhm.
You're sending me. Why me? What's going on? I thought I gave enough. This is not too much. How many more losses do I have to take?" Sometimes when we zoom out of our lives and we see things from a larger or a grander scale, we able to see things a little bit more clearly. Sometimes we so zoomed in on the technicalities or the specifics of our lives that we begin to make ourselves believe that God not gonna get that deep in the trenches with us. And I feel like for me personally, with all that I've gone through, not just gone through, but gotten through, because there's a difference when you get to come
Mhm.
face to face with some stuff, you get to come
Mhm.
out of some stuff. A lot of people when I'm doing interviews, they like to, dwell on, "Oh, well, had this happen, you had this happen." Me, let's focus on what I got through because getting
Mhm.
through was beyond my own strength, honey. If it was all up to me, I tried to take myself out more times than I count. It was never
Tell me
about me.
about it.
It was
Mhm.
beyond my own strength, beyond my own understanding, beyond my own capacity, beyond what I could see, beyond what I could imagine. It was all about what I got through, never about what I was faced with. What I was faced with was very minute to God, very, "Oh, that's the girl business," very, "Oh, you're not talking about nothing," very, "Oh, that's it." What I got through was very much so still in a miracle working business, very much so
Mhm.
still a waymaker, very much so surpassed all of your understanding. And that's what I try to get people to understand now is that sometimes and even for myself, I have to remind myself, we can get so caught up on what we are faced with. And I know that there's so much. I know it's so much right now. I know it's so much, not
Mhm.
just in your personal life, but in the world, in the people that you love that surround you. There's so, so much. But if you go back and you think about every time that God have allowed you to come through, I always tell people you're gonna be in 2 or 3 different places of your life at all time. You either done came out of something, you getting ready to go through it, or you in the midst of it. God with you at
Mhm.
every step. And I have to constantly remind myself of that because sometimes we will allow the mountain to feel bigger than he
Mm.
is. And I'm guilty of it. I'm guilty of looking at like the circumstances before me like, "Oh, that's a big one."
Mhm.
Ooh, Lord. But that old saying, "Tell that mountain about your God," like working our way back towards that. And in the moment, sometimes that don't always sound comforting because it's like, man, these bills right here, right now. What you talking about? These challenges showing up in my family right now. What you talking about? This beef going on in my marriage right now. What you talking about? My kids acting up today. What you talking about? My friends betraying me right now. What you talking about? My business working out after I did everything I could. What you talking about? How about when the storm is part of the plan?
Mhm.
How about when God gotta allow the rapture to be ruptured because otherwise you wouldn't have allowed him to put his hands in it and to put his hands on it? I am a recovering control freak.
Tell me about.
By
Ooh.
that mean this time last year or the year before, God, where we going? Okay, cool, cool,
Gotta
cool,
know
cool, cool.
everything. Gotta
Who
know
going with us?
everything.
Who going with us? We're going I-10 or the Beltway.
You gotta know
So
everything.
we gonna stop at Buc-ee's or we not stopping at Buc-ee's? We gonna get gas locally and then, or we gonna get gas at Buc-ee's? What we doing? God had to get to a point where he said, sometimes my business is not your business. And I had to not just learn, but to understand and to accept that in order for my peace to surpass all understanding, I had to stop trying to understand. You want peace or you want to understand? Because sometimes God not going to allow both to exist in the same situation.
Mhm.
He not gonna allow both because sometimes we be trying to understand things that's far beyond our tax bracket. You don't even have the capacity to understand things at his level of doing it because only he could create it.
Mhm.
Imagine you trying to understand something that one person created that he never felt the need to explain himself on. So that means nobody else has to understand it either. So where exactly do you think you get this understanding from? Sometimes you gotta get real face to face with yourself and say, I'm making this harder than what it has to be because
Mhm.
I feel like I need to understand because God might need my help. He might need me to step in, tag you in. Actually,
Got to know
but
every detail. Got to
he
know
don't need
everything.
when people ask me nowadays, how you doing? How you making it? How's this? How is that? I'll be honest, sometimes I don't have an answer simply because
Mhm.
this is the first time that I'm doing it 100% the way God told me to do it. Before, I needed my 5%. I needed it. Even though it didn't matter, I needed to give my 2 cents in to God because I needed to feel like I had some sense of control of the who, the
Mhm.
what, the when, where, why. He heard it. I still didn't, have any weight to it, but really allowing God to really have his way. That don't mean it's comfortable. I'm not saying that.
Mhm.
That don't mean it's easy. That don't mean that questions don't come about. That don't mean I'm over here reading the Bible for the first time from start to finish. Now I'm
Mhm.
grew up in the church, no scriptures. The word is my life. But I'm over here reading the Bible from front to back. And I'll be honest, there's some times where I have to skip a day or two because I'm like, this is a lot.
Mhm.
This is a lot. This is a whole lot. But when people ask me about what I've been through, what I've gotten through, what I'm going through, how did I get through it? How am I able to be the person I am today? How do I not look like what I've been through? I think it's because people didn't get to see when I looked like what I was going through.
Mhm.
There was a season that I had to be okay with looking like what I was going through. There was a season where I had to be okay with being on display of God's work and his ability in real time. There was a time that I had to be the spiral out of control. There was a time that I had to be labeled as, oh, she didn't lost her mind. There was a time that I had to be labeled as, oh, she didn't went batshit crazy. There was a time. And I think the people that didn't get to see that part sometimes get misconstrued that your job is to show up performative in the midst of God
Mhm.
doing this work. And I think for people that did get to see me on display when God was doing what he's doing are in shock of who I am becoming now. Sometimes I'm in
Mhm.
shock, so I don't blame them.
Mhm.
But the people closest to me have a hard time with
Yep, it's always the
trying to
people closest
digest
to you.
the fact that
Mhm.
God could work
Mhm.
like that. That I could go from what I was to what I'm becoming with no explanation in between because he is who he say he is. And that don't mean I have all the answers. That don't mean I have it all together. That don't mean that I may not cuss people out from time to time. That don't mean that. That simply means
Mhm.
I'm allowing God to be whoever, wherever, whenever he needs to be because I understand my life is not my own. And
Mhm.
that don't mean sometimes I don't come kicking and screaming. A lot of the times when I'm showing up and I'm doing things is simply because I have committed to showing up in a way that reflects God's will for my life. That don't mean that I necessarily wanted to do that particular thing. I want to do what he want me to do.
Mm. I definitely agree. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like you said, people same as you, people are in awe of, where I come from. And I'm just like, it the work. The
It wasn't
work.
it wasn't me. I promise it wasn't me.
Yeah, it's man, yeah,
It wasn't
y'all have to get the book. Y'all gonna have to, 'cause
y'all gonna have to get the book.
y'all got to get both our books.
Yeah.
For me, 'cause I just started writing a book or whatever, and I'm not, like I told somebody, I had to really pray on it, and I had to really like, is this what you gonna do? And it was like, of course it's what I wanna do, 'cause I don't share my business like that. 'Cause I've
Yeah.
learned not to share my business, because and then trying to in this book, I decided to, like, really dig deep,
Yeah.
to give people a new narrative of me because people get their narrative from somebody who I either fell out with or I just no longer talk to.
Mhm.
And like I had told Mika,
So they're getting
I t
outdated updates.
yeah, and it don't be the truth, and like I had told Mika when I shared it with her, I told her they're getting it a reason why I wanted to, I'm finally ready to tell my story and y'all gonna hear it straight from the horse's mouth.
Hmm.
And like I said, I was just the quiet person that just like, okay, y'all can say what y'all want to say, but now it's like, all right, it's too much, y'all trying to run me through the mud, and that's not even, and the fact that people know that's not even my character to even,
Yeah.
they know that, and I'm just like, whatever. Anyways, so your book is called Soft Life, Hard Lessons. And I'm gonna tell you this, it's funny when I read the title, I couldn't do nothing but chuckle because I was gonna name my production company Soft Girl.
Mhm.
But then I'm glad I didn't because it's like this thing of trending of being a soft girl.
Yeah.
And everybody has their definition, but to me, I'm glad I didn't because my middle brother Brandon, we laughed about it. He was like, "Aren't you glad you didn't name your company?" I said, "I'm definitely glad I did not name my because when I hear soft girl or soft life,
Mhm.
everybody pertains to luxury,
Right.
and sometimes it's not luxury. And luxury made to me is rest. Because baby, when
Hmm.
I say Imma get a nap in, Imma get a nap in, whether I'm tired or not. Imma get a nap in. I'm gonna fall
Mm.
asleep wherever my head may lay. And
Mhm.
it's just not tied to having a man do something for you.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
And I'm just like, we gotta that male centeredness is on the rise. The
Hmm.
pick me's are on the rise. And it doesn't pertain to a man. Like if you have it all your own, I've learned that a man is just gonna add to it, or whoever, whatever your preference is going to add to it. Because as an adult, you should have your own money. You should not be using your own money. You should be knowing how to clean up after
Mhm.
yourself, a man or woman. But anyway, we'll get into that a little later. But what I can pretty much think of, where did you come with the title, but actually what sparked the title?
Um, so the subtitle stood out for me more than anything,
Mhm.
because it's called Soft Life, Hard Lessons, because growth hurts, closure is a scam, and peace is expensive.
Mhm.
For me, the title itself pretty much lets you know that soft life is great, but it's not free and it's not cheap.
Mhm.
While soft life and how it's defined is subjective for most people, for me, soft life equated to being able to surrender to like what God truly had in store for me. And that's not to say it wasn't going to come with trials, tribulations, or challenges, but that I was making this thing harder for myself than what it had to be. And
Mhm.
that's because I simply wanted what I wanted, when I wanted,
Yeah.
how I wanted it, from who I wanted it from. And that was the end all be all. For me, it came from there has to be a trade off. This soft life is going to come, but for most people, it's going to come at the expense of hard lessons. And that's because most of us have been programmed in order to get that we must give. In order to have, we must pay a cost.
Yes.
In order to be the boss, you got to pay the cost.
Yes.
And for me, for soft life, my cost was hard lessons simply because what was instilled in me, what I saw, what my representation was, and also because I was doing it or trying to do it on my own understanding or in my
Mhm.
own understanding, I should say.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like you said, everything my granny would always say, life ain't free." My grandparents used to always instill life is not free, and they
May
wasn't
cost
talking about
you a lot,
money.
may cost you a lot, but it's gonna cost you.
That's one
It's
thing I
about to
learned.
cost you a lot of your choices and your decisions. And, it's a ripple effect from there. But for me, soft life, hard lessons, because growth hurts, closure is a scam, and peace is expensive. The title came literally from life experiences. You could have this soft life, but it's gonna come at the cost of these hard lessons because you insist on doing it your way.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That was my biggest problem. I
yeah.
wanted things, even as an adult, I wanted things like you say, you want things your way. This is how I want it, even though you prayed for it, and then you like, okay, I prayed for it, but it's not how you wanted it.
The package I thought it was gonna come in, so I
I
don't know
thought it
what
was
that
gonna come with a pretty bow, with
painted back. I
pink,
don't know what that.
but it's the fact that you pray for stuff.
Yeah, you
It's
said he
not
was
what
gonna be tall, dark, and handsome. Now I don't know what this is. It comes in different ways. It does.
and it's not even like that's why they always say be specific when you pray.
Even when you specific, be open to the idea that God still
Yeah,
may have different
yeah,
plans.
things may it be it's
To
gonna be
where
something different.
now it's like, God, help me align my wants and my desires with your will for my life. I don't even want to want nothing outside of what you want for me.
Mhm,
I don't even want to set myself up for the disappointment. And even when I do, I am inviting you to intervene because I understand that soft life come with hard lessons and that growth hurts. So it's a scam and peace is expensive, but I'm willing to pay the price.
mhm.
I'm willing to pay the price.
Willing to pay the price to be at peace.
Yeah. If the
I
price is delay, I'm okay
mhm,
with it.
mhm. Nothing ain't like you said. I like it always say, they instilled in me life, it ain't cheap. But I mean to get what you desire, actually desire, it's gonna come at a cost. Are you
Right.
willing to be patient for it? Because sometimes I don't be patient. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm learning to be patient. Like I tell my little cousin all the time, hey, you got to be patient. And it's like, what am I to tell a child to be patient and I'm not even being patient?
That means you gotta become patient so that your words can be of example.
I be trying. Cause I be telling him, I be like, I'm not perfect. But I don't make
Sometimes
that as excuse. Cause some adults would make that as excuse and I do my best. Cause one thing about that little boy, he gonna let you know when you done did.
to
Kids
it.
gonna let you know. My little cousin, he lets me know all the time. And I be like, and I have no problem with apologizing. And I will tell him, I would say, hey, thank you for letting me know that. I will work on that.
Yeah. Mhm.
I will work. I have no problem because, growing up in a Black household, it was do as I say, not as I do. Whether
Right.
you right, wrong, or indifferent.
Right.
But
You're
I have a chance to change that and be like, hey, he told me the other day, he said, hey, I didn't like the way you said that to me. And I was like, oh, I was like, I really apologize. I was rushing or something. And I was like, kind of, in a,
Yeah.
and I was like, you know what, dude, I apologize.
Yeah.
Cause
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie. I never got apology.
Hmm.
You never get your apology, but I think that's what's wrong with some of us millennials. We're waiting for an apology that we will never get.
Well, I apologize to you on behalf of whoever did not apologize and should have.
Thank you.
And it may not hit the same, but if you need permission for
Oh, I
yourself,
moved on. I done I done did what I needed to did, cry, holler, kick, scream. I was like,
hoop and holler and all you need to.
and I do it sometimes, cause sometimes, you kind of revert back into being a child. It's, but then, like I said, this 36 hit different. I'm learning to maneuver on my terms and kind of doing things how I would do it now without any disruption. Or,
Right.
I'm going back to myself as a child, but I'm an adult now. And,
Yeah.
I do things on my terms,
Yeah.
respectfully. Because I
Yeah.
don't want them
Well,
people think, oh, I don't want people to think, oh, she just thinks yes, I'm an adult now. I'm realizing that I'm an adult. And
mhm.
like I said, I'm maneuvering as a healed adult. I mean, I'm a healing adult because healing
Right.
is a journey.
Right.
And now I'm able to be like, okay, this is what I'm going to do, but I'm also check myself too. Cause I had to check, you had to check me, you have them check me moments. And I be having
Yeah.
to check myself like, hey, this is what you wanted. We not finna do
I
that.
know that's the poet. We not doing that.
Cause I be sitting there like,
Okay.
this is what I wanted. I cannot be upset. I cannot be frustrated with myself. And I'm thankful that I'm like we go back to the present. The situation that I'm in, it wasn't how I wanted it,
Mhm.
but a it was it was what I needed.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'd be like,
Thank God for his protection, even in the unknown, even when it shows up in a way that we didn't want it to show up.
mm,
We gotta thank God for that because we don't always know what we need. We know what we
yeah,
want, but we don't always know what we
because
need.
it's
So
gonna
I
be
be
what you
thanking God
need.
for knowing what I need in advance.
And then it's another thing for me. It's a test because sometimes you, like we say, you get what you need, and then you be like a kid on Christmas Day. This ain't what I wanted. Okay,
Huh?
so this is since it's not what you wanted, just as it was given to you, it can be taken away. And that's what I had to learn. A lot of
Yeah.
positions that I was in, okay, I was like, I don't want it. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Okay, cool. You don't want it, then I can
But,
take it away. But guess who was back praying like, if you get me out this situation, I'm gonna
one
do
more.
right this time. Just one more again, just one more time. If you
Yeah.
just in everything, it is full circle of everything that happened that I let go. It has came back around, and
And
I'm
that's
like,
a
everybody does not get a second chance.
everybody don't get a second chance.
That's why I say it is so much bigger than
Sometimes
me.
it could take a lifetime to get that second chance.
I be so tired, but I know it is so much bigger than me. Like
That's,
this, what I'm doing is so much greater than me. Cause like I said, I didn't want to do this podcast.
I don't be wanting to do half the stuff God's done. And I'm honest with him about it, and I've been honest with my community, with my audience, and
hmm I tell them that all the
I'm
time.
honest.
I tell
That
people
don't
all the
that don't mean
time.
that I have to show up in a nasty
I
space or
did, yeah.
I will show up halfway. I show up fully, but I'm honest with the fact that, gosh, you know I wouldn't have been doing this. You come on now.
It's
You know
always
I
the things that
sit
you don't
down
want to
off
do be the
and
things that you need to do.
that's why I'm okay with doing.
I'm
That's
cool
why
with it now.
I'm up with it. Yeah.
I'm definitely cool with everything because I was like, okay, I surrender.
Yeah.
Like I told you earlier, I'm a vessel, so therefore I have the vision. And I be sitting there thinking like, I be up 1 o'clock looking like, okay, let me write this down because obviously it's going to
Yeah.
happen. It may not happen right now, but I
Yeah.
just was like, it's 1 o'clock. You got to be kidding me. Had my
Yeah.
notebook. I hadn't moved my desk right by my bed, so I have easy access to my notebook. And I just
Hmm.
be like, you got like it'd be 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. I just went to bed at 12. And I'm just like, okay, I'm not. He's like, are you complaining? No, 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 no. That's not what.
Because he'll
That's.
give someone complain about it. But,
What you say earlier. I give you something. I give you something. If you grew up in the last, I
he'll give
give
you
you something to complain about.
don't worry about it. I'm
Okay.
good.
Before we continue, I got to shout. The besties are in the building.
Hi, besties. I can't see y'all, but
I
hey,
know I'm trying to work on these comments.
that's all right. That's
I'm
all right.
looking.
Hi,
I'm looking.
ladies.
I'm looking. That's what I'm thinking about, debating about taking it to stream. But shout out to the besties. I saw Mika,
Collective.
everybody's,
How do I bar? Ooh, 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 ooh.
everybody's favorite Kimberly. We got Jalitha, Miss
How about? Ooh,
Jalitha.
ooh,
We
ooh,
got
ooh, ooh, ooh.
Jay. We got Miss Trina and
Hi,
Miss Nedra.
ladies.
I told you they gon'
Hi,
one thing
barking.
about the besties, they gonna step every time, whether it be one of them or two of them. They gonna be in here.
We
That's what I
got
appreciate. And that's one thing they gonna step. One thing when they gonna do for little bestie,
really got
little
to come up
sis.
with something. Mika, how we going? We'll
They gonna
figure it out.
step. They gonna
We're
step.
gonna
That's what
figure it
they
out.
gonna. They gonna step behind everybody.
We're gonna figure it out offline, but we really
Yeah,
be
we
like,
gonna. I knew we was. I
we'll
knew
figure it
we
out.
was. I knew
Don't worry
after
about
a
it.
while we was gonna loosen up.
I'll put our business in the street like that, but we're gonna figure it out offline.
We
Don't worry
gonna
about it.
loosen up. We gonna. I
Yeah,
knew
we're
we
gonna
was gonna loosen up. I knew we was gonna loosen. That's what I say. Even with Jay, I was like, oh, this is finna be one of them episodes where
yeah, we'll figure
we
it out
definitely
offline.
finna loosen up. Cause
Yeah.
I was like, cause I don't be knowing.
All right.
Like some people that I have had, they was like, so what are we supposed to do? I was like, loosen, like it's chill. It ain't. I'm not gonna
Right.
dig in.
To
I'm
me,
not
right.
gonna dig in nobody business or nothing. Cause I wouldn't want nobody doing me like that.
But
But
I
when I
show
get
up
this
on the
Patreon,
platform with the understanding of I signed up for whatever I have already like
yeah,
invited the public into my life. So
You see, I
I'm
didn't go
here.
too deep
I'm here.
into
Hey,
I
even if
didn't
you
get to
just here for it. For me, I'm really big on I'll tell on myself. So by the time you decide to tell on me, people will be questioning your
oh,
voice.
I definitely agree, because when this book come out, what you gonna say? Because
So for
it's
me,
already done
I
said.
haven't put anything out that's off limits.
Mhm.
So I don't prepare for podcasts or interviews in a way to where it's like, from a place of fear. Oh, what are they going to ask me? What are they going to talk
Mhm.
about? Because I done already made peace with everything I've done, everything I've
Mhm.
had to be, everything that I am. So for me, I'm open.
That's
And
oh, go ahead.
no, I'm just saying I'm open, and I feel like that's what allows me to create like organic and authentic relationships with people because I don't care who you are, what your credentials are, or
Say
what
that
platform
again.
you stand on. You can't tell me who I am.
And that's what's thing is, if you don't know who you are, people will you if you don't have a firm foundation in who you are, people are going to try to
Yeah, I know who I used to be, so you definitely can't tell me
I
who I
definitely know who I used to be. And that girl, what was that on TikTok? Christina. Christina.
am. I know who
She's
I
no
used
longer
to be.
here. I'm
So
sorry.
you couldn't dare tell me who I am today with me knowing who I used to be. Yeah, good luck with that. Good
Because
luck with
hey, because as liable, I have been like the peaceful person and quiet, and now I just be like, "Hey, bro, this ain't I'm this ain't what you want." Because sometimes I just don't know. Like, people don't know how to deal with me now, and I was like, she
that.
been here, she been here. I just know where I can go. You can go. You can go there. I can go further, and that's why I know who I am, and I hurt feelings. Because I used to be like, oh, I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. Now I'm at that point where I don't care. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I'm
I've
just,
definitely changed over the years, in a lot of different ways, but I feel like if you allow life to happen, it'll do that to you. I
mm,
don't really need to get specifics of who I used to be. Let's just thank God that I'm delivered on today.
I be like that too. I be like, okay. But that don't mean I won't cuss nobody out. Please don't say no slick stuff.
Yeah, a little cussing ain't never hurt nobody. But there's more at stake these days than there
Yes.
once was. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm much quicker to remove myself from certain environments before I allow myself to revert back because yeah, for many reasons. One, it takes too much out of me as a distraction from what I'm supposed to be doing. On another level of things, lawyer fees are expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And with the depths of where I'm capable or where I used to be capable of going, because I may not even be able to go where my old self used to be able to go.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different world. I'm not suitable to be who I used to be, and I thank God for that because both of us can't be in this lane at the same
Yeah,
time.
it got to be some type of balance. So I rather just remove myself. Like you said,
Yeah,
lawyers'
the
fees
balance
high.
me or her. The balance is me or her. And I realized both my old self and who God calling me to be can't exist at the same time. So I'm okay with letting her go.
Yeah.
She was gonna catch me a couple more cases anyway. So it's much more easier for me to be who I am today, even with the challenges that comes with it, than to be who I was.
Mm-hmm. Cause like you said, you got a lot of stuff. Even me now, where I'm at, I got a lot of stuff riding, and I got a lot of people that won't allow me to be put myself in that position.
Yeah, it's bigger than me. It's easy to let myself down because we feel like we can always come back from that. It's much harder to let the young ladies that look up to me. It's much harder for me to let them down because I was once them at some point.
Hmm.
So my purpose is much bigger than myself. And I thank God for giving me the responsibility of that purpose because it's a constant reminder that my decisions are not just my own. They don't just
Mhm.
affect. Yeah.
That reminds me of going into, dating, because 'cause we're both millennials and we know how the dating pool is right about now. And, let's just say I rather enjoy my own company. Because I have 2 brothers and they're batshit crazy. And I don't want to put them in any type of predicament to where I was just like, "No,
Well, I'm not giving up on dating.
I'm
I'm just
not." But,
I'm
it's just like, just
I'm okay with exercising my love muscles, and I say that by if I meet somebody and I feel led to give it a try,
mhm.
Imma do that.
'Cause
But
there's
if God
somebody out
wants
there for
me
everybody,
to walk away
as my
from it,
auntie would say.
yeah, I still believe that there is a man that God handmade specifically for me, and we just haven't found our way to each other yet. So if it takes a couple more relationships, a few more dates, I just pray to God keep on preparing me and strengthening me and giving me the guidance and the courage and the energy to be where, I'm supposed to be when I'm supposed to
Mhm.
be there.
'Cause
So
I've
that I can rock
learned.
my
Mhm.
lesson.
Yeah, I've learned that when it comes to dating, you have to sit still. Yes, we wanna be outside. I yes, I understand, people, but specifically if you want to be a wife, I'm not saying you can't go outside, but to me I wish I remember who said it. You just got to prepare yourself because sometimes you can run into just as, God sends you somebody, the devil can send you somebody too, you know, and you just have to be, you be prepared. Prepare yourself. And and also have your discernment. I've learned I've learned through my lessons that discernment is important because we want to be in love. We want to ignore the red flags. We want to build a bear and we want to do all that. But, we can't be looking out for potential and what it could be instead of what it really is.
I feel like we have to not just be still, but we have to really get deep in our word and we have to stay
Mhm.
focused on the calling on our lives because sometimes when we are reluctant to go where God is sending us according to our purpose, we delay running into our partners because sometimes he'll allow you to meet them in the midst of being like on your journey. Like when you read in the Bible, most people that met their wives or their husbands, they met them in pursuit of their walk with God. So I'm not saying don't be still. Be still when God called you to be still, but
Mhm.
wherever you go, go where God tells you to go. Go when he tells you to go and with the spirit and with the heart that he tells you to go with. And for me, I'm okay with meeting somebody and it doesn't work out as long as I showed up in the way that God wanted me to
Mhm.
show up. And maybe that was something I needed to learn before I get to my husband. Maybe there was something that I need to be more observant of myself before I get to my husband. Maybe there was something that needed my attention on my inner self that I thought was resolved way back before I get to my husband. And that I mean I need to be a completed project when I get
Mhm.
to my husband, but maybe it was just the awareness. But I don't care how many relationships didn't work out. I don't care, not making it to I don't care about none of that stuff. None of that is going to deter me from believing that my love don't have a home because it
Mhm.
does. And
Mhm.
if that means just, okay, me and you God on this walk until he finds me, because what I did have to go back and self check myself on, stop trying to find him when God said a man who findeth. You looking for him and he looking for you. So that means when he get to where you was supposed to be at, you not there because you
Mhm,
won't sit down.
mhm,
So I'm okay with just walking this walk with God and going where he told me to go, when he told me to go, with who he told me to go with, and with the heart he told me
mhm.
to show up with until it happens. But I ain't nobody bald head son about to deter me from being open and
No,
willing to love and be
it's a lot
loved.
of that. It's a lot of
Thank you
that
for the
going around.
experience. On to the next.
It's a lot of that it's a lot of that going around. Cause 'cause I'm like, if y'all I've learned that if y'all are if it's of God, you ain't gotta worry about 50-50. You ain't gotta worry about,
I'm
you
not
know
having no conversations.
I'm not like, if it's like I said, if it's presented to you and it's of God, you ain't gotta have those conversations.
I'm not all that
Equally,
was
if y'all are equally yoked, you ain't gotta worry about him trying to stop. You don't have to worry about your partner trying to stop you from your purpose.
I'm not having those certain conversations. I'm not having, and it's not a rejection to the other person.
Mhm,
It's my attention to detail to be able to know when something is not in alignment with me,
mhm.
and I'm okay with that.
And it shouldn't even be a problem. If something people have to learn, if that person is not for you, that person is not for you. If they don't align with you, then you should be okay with that, but some people don't be okay. Some people don't be okay with that, and I'm just like, I was about to say something real ruthless, but Imma keep that to myself. But if people just don't handle rejection, men and women, and I'm thankful that I was able, okay, if that person ain't for me, that person ain't for me, and keep it moving.
Mhm.
'Cause I've been instances where I done had phone number. I just was like, "Are we in high school or what?" I've done had I done had text me numbers, and I'm like, "I already know who it is." How old are we?
Yeah, certain stuff I'm not doing.
Like I said, I've grown older, and I'm a lot of stuff, I'm just like you said, I'm just not going to have that conversation.
Mm-mm. No.
If you're gonna show me how to get to that bag, we you show me how we gonna grow together.
And if that's not in alignment, I'm not having that conversation either.
'Cause I
Because the
just
bag comes there with expense. Even
mhm,
overweight bags at the airport cost you something. So
mhm.
what, like, even if that's not in alignment, I'm not having a conversation. I don't care what the bag look like. What it's
But
gonna
like
cost me.
keyword and alignment, and people don't be aligned with the people that they align, and then they end up settling, and then they marry somebody and they looking like, I shouldn't have done this."
Mhm.
That's why I am cool and I am at peace with myself at the moment, 'cause I don't have time. I've been through so much, and I am protective of her. The new her, I am, like, very protective,
Yeah.
'cause I realize most of the times, I put myself in those predicaments.
Right.
And now I'm at that point now, sister, you can't do that no more, 'cause you got
Yeah.
a lot you got a lot of stuff riding, and I'm just not gonna do that anymore.
Yeah. I hear you.
'Cause the stories that I can tell. So, 'cause I knew we was got the yapping, gets it that gets it every time. So, talk about you curating, like, community conversation centered conversations, because we don't have too many of those conversations of just, like, community. We have those 50-50 conversations instead of community conversation. So, what is, like, the experience like for somebody like me who has never, like, been?
For me, I think before we could even get to the conversations of the 50-50 or how we could show up in relationship and benefit and be all those things, it starts with self. And I think in this day and time, we are so comfortable with skipping the process or picking and choosing what work we want to do when we want to do it. Um, I believe when I create spaces for people to come together, whether it's conversations or yoga or whatever the case may be, that I create a space where people understand they could come and just be. They don't have to put a mask on, they don't have to put a
Mhm.
filter on. Because with all that I've been through, I can relate to a person that's living on the street just as well as I could, relate to a person that's probably working, in a White House somewhere. So it's common ground. I feel
Mhm.
like the spaces I create are common ground. At the end of the day, in those spaces, you are not just to, in a sense of belittling, but you are just somebody that is just figuring it out as you go. And I think for me, it's as simple as that.
I do agree. Like I said, like like I said, I did not say that. Like you said, it has to be a common ground in order for somebody to be comfortable
Hmm.
and take that mask off. Because I know, like being, connecting with the business collective, I know I was able to take that mask off and not be performative.
Right.
I was definitely because it was intimidating at first. It was definitely intimidating at first, but then after, you know, it was like, okay, I can definitely do this because I've been in spaces where you probably have too, and they turn their nose up, and I'm just like, I thought this was, you know, networking, sisterhood. But now I'm just like, I got my sisterhood. So I'm just at that point where no new friends. I'm at that point. If I meet you and it aligns, like you said, I'm good with it. I'm good with that. But for right now, it's closed because I done been through enough hurt and pain. I'm good
And
on
as
that.
much as I've been through, and, maybe this is just my way of thinking, I don't think there's anybody that's doing better than anybody.
Mhm.
I think everything has seasons, and we juggle what we can and we do the best we can with what we have. There's nobody that has it all together because even when one area of your life is thriving, there's another area of your life that's sacrificing for it. So I have learned, and I learned this at a really young age, to walk in a room, head up, chest out,
Mhm.
love, full of joy, and all those things. I don't walk into a room thinking that anybody is better than or even thinking that I'm better than. I walk in a room feeling like I have something to offer to this room, and every other person in this room has something unique to offer as
Mhm.
well. And either we can put our egos and our pride to the side to be able to see that and receive that and embrace that, or we'll miss the blessing that, is for us because we chose not to. But I don't know, call me naive or whatever you want, but I don't walk into any room thinking that there's anybody in that space that's better than me, nor do I think I'm better than them.
Mhm. Yeah,
No,
I
it's
used to
like,
be like that. Yeah, I used to be like that. Walking with my head down, like. But then now, like I said, people are humans too. No matter how much money they got, they still humans too. And like you said, nobody is better than
right.
nobody. So I'd be like, okay, chuck your
Yeah.
head up. That's how I tell my little cousin all the time. Hold your
Do
head
so
up.
if the, has a, maybe not taken to me well, I'm not gonna go out of my way for it. But
Mhm.
my first thought is not, oh, like what's wrong with her? What's she looking at? My first thought is, damn, has she had a hug in the last couple weeks? I wonder what all she's juggling to where, her mind would allow her to go wherever it has taken her for her to want to look at me a certain way or treat me a certain way. Or, I wonder when the last time she's been acknowledged for,
Mhm.
what she brings to the table. Those are my first thoughts. And if we can't come to some sort of common ground with those first initial thoughts, I mean, after that, I don't have too many other thoughts after that. It doesn't make me no never mind.
Mm. Yeah, like, 'cause ain't
Yeah.
nobody paying attention to you. Like, you know, you have some people that be I'm like, "Nobody."
I'm solution focused and,
Yep.
purpose
I'm
driven.
definitely
Outside of that, I
that's
don't really
definitely where I have grown into, like, if you coming with a bunch of problems, I like, "Hey, what we gonna do to fix this?
right.
Like, what are we going to do?" Because you can complain all day, but like you said earlier, somebody's going through something far worse.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, we are coming to the end. Cause I knew it. We like yapping. I
Oh,
like
just
you.
oh yeah.
So I want you. My brain. I'm having a brain fart
It's
on
okay.
live. This is, that's one thing that I can say about here. Like I don't cut nothing out unless I necessarily have to. Like people are really seeing my mistakes. Cause I've been
I'm
sitting in the
oh,
middle of a video, and I'm just like, uh, uh, and I'm like, hold on, snap out of it.
even then, it's the process. We have such high expectations from each other, which is crazy. It's mind blowing.
With the people, and I know the people that be having something to say be the people that don't even have a podcast, and
Imagine taking criticism from people that haven't even tried.
oh, but let me tell you,
Yes, I know that there are mistakes and errors made in the worst
oh,
moments.
yeah, let me tell you, when it started picking up and I started getting like traction, influx of influx of inboxes. And I'm just like, but you were just the one that can you hear me? Oh, I think you unmuted. Did you unmute? Hold on. Well, guys, hold on. Let's see if she comes back. This is the stuff that y'all get to see on live, and I'm not ashamed of it. As y'all can see, I have not taken my balloons down for my birthday, which I'm probably celebrating until the end of the month. Okay, she's back, guys. She's back.
What happened? But I'm back. I'm here. I'm
This is the
here.
stuff that I do not cut out. I
Welcome
remember,
to my bag.
I remember my camera unplugged when I had interviewed Mika,
Yeah.
and she was like, "Okay." I was like, "Okay, let's move along." Pish posh.
It started doing something with the audio. I said, well, I'm gonna just walk out and walk back in.
And guess what? And guess what? It's gonna be
It's gonna be all
uploaded.
right.
It's gonna be
You know,
uploaded and edited
because he's
because
not
this
gonna
is
put
what we do.
on that I can handle. That's it.
Because it's not perfect. But hey, I'm gonna let y'all know y'all not finna keep me. Y'all not finna stop me. Shoot, after
Yeah.
I hit that 1 year mark, I was just like,
Yeah. Right back to it. What you were saying, we're coming to the end and we're right back into it.
yeah. So any advice for like any young lady or woman or man, anybody that is struggling to deal with life.
And that's broad.
I mean, I don't know how to say it because,
Say it however you feel it. That's very broad, but say it however you feel it.
somebody, just anybody who's just struggling with life. Just anything, what would you, matter of fact, let me scratch that. Any a young lady who is in the same predicament or, yeah, similar situation that you went through, what advice would you give her?
Hmm.
Okay, I said that right. Okay, there we go.
I would probably hug her so tight. And if I couldn't reach out to physically hug her, I would tell her, you have no idea the plans that God have in store for you. You have no idea how small your problems are to God in terms of what He can handle, what He's capable of, and what He's willing to do on your behalf. You do not have to have it all figured out today. You may never have it all figured out. The best thing you could do is keep trusting Him, keep trusting the process. Know that you are worthy. Know that you are loved. Know that you are not forgotten or forsaken. Know that your life matters. Know that everything that you don't understand right now, that at some point you will understand. And if you don't understand exactly why it was, you'll understand His purpose and His reason for allowing it to happen.
Mhm.
Your future is so bright. You don't even have a clue of the lives that you're going to change. You have no idea of the mark, the imprint, and the impact that you're going to leave on this world. And your best days haven't even met you yet. Everybody that's going to love you haven't even crossed your path yet. And you're not going to have to beg for it. You're not going to have to sacrifice yourself for it. You're not going to have to question it. It's some people that's waiting and ready to love you in ways that you didn't even know that love could be expressed. And I can't wait to see what you become. And I hope you wait it out.
You must have been talking to me. I
I'm
felt
just
that.
to the
I
people that
felt that. I felt that. I felt that. I
I'm
definitely
talking to
felt
the
that.
people
I
that
was God.
understand.
This is the most I ever been quiet.
Yeah, I'm just talking to the people that you mentioned. God ain't forgot about you. Gonna be some hard days.
Mhm.
But one thing I know, joy still come in the morning. He's still in the miracle working business. He's still a way maker. He's still a protector. He's still a provider. His provision is still unmatched. His knowing and understanding is still beyond this world. And I ain't never in all my days met nobody like him. Not just the one, but the only.
Mhm.
And if you don't know him, no matter where you are in your life, if you went astray from him, it ain't too late. He waiting on you. He waiting on you.
That's why I said people.
He waiting with his warm embrace, honey. Wait, gotta sprinkle a little Chris Brown in it, honey. He waiting on you, love. He waiting.
Oh my God.
Waiting. No matter how heavy it feels, no matter what you carrying, all he waiting on is an invitation to help you carry it.
Oh my back.
The light is there. He just waiting on you to let him know that he could be the
Mhm.
lamp to your path, the light to your feet. All he wants is an invitation and for you to trust and for you to believe. And for some people, that's probably the hardest thing for them right now. If you're gonna bet on anything or anybody, bet on him.
Mm. Woo.
Bet on him. Might
Child.
have made me mad, but he ain't never let me down before.
Oh
That I
my
know.
God. You done gave
He
me
might,
you tickled me pink, son. Boy, you
might
tickled me
make me
pink
mad, but
tonight.
let me down before, and that's for sure.
You tickled me pink.
I should
Yeah.
have gone. I should have been gone. I should have been dead and gone.
Tell me about it, cause before I moved here, before I moved, I was on my way. I wanted to check out something terrible.
I
Job
tried.
wasn't job was
I tried. I
you did.
tried
Mhm.
every way you could possibly think I am not here on my own. So as much as I might be carrying right now, I've gotten through worse. As much as you might be carrying right now, you've gotten through worse.
Mhm.
He's still him. That's really the both.
I wouldn't
He's
be.
still,
I
he's
wouldn't
still,
even be. I wouldn't
I
even
don't know
be
if he's
here.
still him. He's exactly who he said he was.
Like I told with the episode with Kim, I told her somebody, grandma's prayer, somebody had their hands wrapped around me, cause
Shout out to my grandma because she's still here by the grace of God and them prayers still getting me through. She don't even understand my walk, but she understands that I have a purpose.
somebody,
So
granny's prayers,
somebody's still praying for you, baby.
somebody,
Whoever you are.
cause baby, mm,
Listen,
that's why I say when I get this Patreon up and running, that's when it's gonna be the raw and uncut.
they'll be ready. They'll be waiting.
And as I say on every episode, spread love,
Mm.
peace. Oh, first of all, I'm so rude. Thank you for coming, Sunny.
Thank you
You
for
gotta come
having.
back. We
I
gotta
got
have when you come back. It wasn't as it wasn't as deep, but it
Hey,
wasn't as deep. But some
we don't get them all dead. I'll be
we
back.
can.
We come back. There's more to discuss. We getting deeper. We going in depth. All uncut, real raw, all that
Yeah,
good
my
stuff.
my manners be going out the window. I
That's her
appreciate you for coming. It was fun because we said even before we even we was gonna yap.
long yap. Sometimes you just need a yap. And
We
I
just need a good kiki.
allowing us to yap. Sometimes you just need a little kiki. And I
Just a little bit.
have me kiki.
Oh, by the way, if you have not got your hoodie or t-shirts, www.curatedbythecreator.com. Proceeds will be going to Jordan's heart. I can't
Shout
never always.
Hey.
Yeah, shout out to Jay because I always add a hearts at the end. At S. It's just the country vernacular.
Yeah.
And all the proceeds, so whatever y'all purchase on the website, which is right now is just the hoodies and the t-shirts. That's just right now, but anything else, it would be going to her, pouring into the community. But as I always say at the end of every episode, spread love, peace, and joy because there is enough negativity in the world. And I will catch you next episode.